So with that, let's go ahead and meet Igor. For the past 10 years, he's been searching for the holy grail of the software development process. And in doing so, he took on many roles such as lead dev, project manager, and support service manager at many software outsourcing companies. And then finally, he ended up founding Almworks, and he's a lead developer there. And when he's not working nor spending time with his family or traveling, then he's probably sleeping. And with that, Igor, I'm going to go ahead and give you the controls here.
Thanks, Morgan. Hello, folks. Thanks for joining this webinar about the structure plugin. And sorry about that lame joke of mine, trying to be funny. So, what we're going to talk about today. I will give you a brief introduction to the structure plugin, which is our solution for issue hierarchy. I will start immediately with a live demo. And I will then talk a bit about what the problem that we're trying to solve. If you are already familiar with structure, then just bear with me for maybe 10 minutes, and then I will proceed to a number of scenarios, real-life use cases that we are basing on the feedback from our customers. And then I will finish with a couple of words about where we're headed and what's next. So, without further ado, let me switch to browser and show you what the structure is. So this is my sample JIRA instance, and you can see that we have this structure tab in the top navigation bar, and it opens a structure board, which is a full screen, big view of an issue hierarchy. You can see that there are a number of columns here. They are customizable. Let me just remove some of them and make it a real nice view. So this is just a grid with the structure, with the hierarchy of issues displayed like you probably would expect it would be displayed. And you can add any columns to this view. There are also some special columns like the progress bar here, which is calculated based on the status of sub-issues and time track information. Toolbar, this is really intuitive and interactive tool to view the hierarchy. But not only view, you can also edit the hierarchy right on this structure board. So for example, you can use drag and drop to rearrange issues like this, to make them sub-issues or other issues. You can also create issues right on the structure board. For example, I just pressed insert and just let me press this button, new feature. So I just added a summary and the rest has been created for me. I can edit summary in the same way. So this is a good way to create hierarchical issues just from the start and to create new issues as well. If you have some issues in JIRA that you would like to lay out as a hierarchy, then you can use the search button here. Search is pretty flexible. You can search for a single text, or you can use JQL to have a precise query and run the search through structure and through JIRA as well. So here's a JQL that says project equals sample project. There are a few issues found that are not yet in the structure, and I can add them to structure using drag and drop again, or I can use copy and paste if drag and drop is not convenient for some reason. So on the structure board, you can also work with every issue, just as you can do in the Issue Navigator. There's a gear button here that opens up a menu with all actions available for the issue. So, for example, I can resolve this issue. Let's see it resolved. And you can also see that the parent issue here, oops, it just got automatically resolved because all of its sub-issues are resolved. This is something that is done by the status rollup synchronizer, which I will mention later. So this is the core functionality of the structure plugin. It lets you have this hierarchy, and you can also see it throughout JIRA, not only on the structure board page. If we open an issue page, you can see the structure panel here and the current structure right under the details. And the structure panel displays the part of the structure that is related to the viewed issue, but you can also view the whole structure as well. Time tracking information on the issue panel is aggregated, so you can see this checkbox here, use structure, which means that this time information displays the sum of estimate times and remaining times from all the sub-issues. There's also a dashboard gadget. So if you open the dashboard, there you see a simple structure here, and I can add more gadgets to this dashboard, so I can see several structures at the same time, or it can be the same structure but in different view configurations. So this is what structure plugin basically does. Now, what's the problem there? And it is the issue hierarchy. We need issue hierarchy anywhere. It's a natural way to organize a large amount of issues, and there are different types of the hierarchy. Probably you can come up with your own type. I will just go over these slides really quick, and if you have any questions, just I will be able to get back to them later, because I really want to get to the examples. So another problem that we're trying to solve is the issue lists. It's a less important problem than the hierarchy probably, but it's important nonetheless. Basically, you want to have a collection of issues that come in a specific order. A backlog is a typical example. So there are solutions already for that. JIRA has certain features. Subtasks are infamous for their limitations. You can have a subtask of a subtask, subtask of separate issue types, so you cannot have compositional hierarchy where you have requirement and requirement, something like that. And subtask must come from the same project as the parent issue. Greenhopper does a pretty good job of solving the issue lists problem with the Greenhopper rank. So you can have a single project issues ordered according to this backlog. But again, it's limited to a single project. Epic and Themes and Greenhopper add another layer, another level to the available hierarchy of stories and subtasks, which is just another step. It's not a complete solution. There are also some plugins like Link Hierarchy Report and several Microsoft project integration plugins. So all of them do not solve this problem at a fundamental level. So that's why we started Structure. And the basic idea behind this plugin is that we need to have a hierarchical list of JIRA issues. And this hierarchical list is a separate thing, a separate entity, if you will. It has a name, it has permissions, it can be shared, and this is what the work is based on. So the hierarchy in the structure is not limited. You can have any depth of the hierarchy, any issue types, multiple projects. Structure plugin can calculate data based on the hierarchy. So as you saw, the time track information and progress are aggregated upwards. We have workflow rollup, which transitions parent issue through the workflow as their sub issues are transitioned, and we will be working on more features for that. Also, when you have lots of issues, a large amount of data, you need a good way to visualize that amount and to be able to work with it. So our major focus in the Structure plugin is the user interface. So I hope you would agree that we have it done well. So Structure plugin is also fit for teamwork, which means that these structures that I show you, that they can be shared, and there are really flexible set of permissions. You can control who sees the structure, who can edit it. And also it's a real-time component, so if anything changes in JIRA, whether it's a structure or an issue, the updates, structure widget updates almost immediately. One of the most powerful features there is this synchronization, which lets you have structure synchronized with anything else, links, greenhopper rank, or anything anything else that can be coded, because synchronizers are pluggable. You can write your own plugins that would do the synchronization. So let's go over a few examples that we have. These examples are from real-life feedback that we got from a number of customers that we already have. Although I had to change the names and the data, it's real use cases. So the first example is multiple projects management. Now, this company has a single product, or rather a platform, and they customize it for every customer. So they have customer projects in JIRA, one project per each customer, and they use that project to communicate with the customer, to collect bugs, feature requests, and so on. But to plan and to actually develop stuff, they use the main project in JIRA, which is not visible to the customer, and they use Greenhopper with that main project. So one example what structure can do in this case is a common backlog. So imagine there are multiple customers, everybody files issues in JIRA in their own project, and you need to somehow prioritize these requests. You cannot do that in Greenhopper because those are different projects. So this company can use structure to add these issues all into the same structure and prioritize there. So let me get to the browser, show you how it looks like. This is example 1, common backlog. Now I will go to the Manage Structures page and show you the settings of the synchronization for this structure. So you can see that there are 4 synchronizers installed here. We have Save with Filter Synchronizer, which makes sure that all unresolved stories and bugs from these multiple projects are in the structure. And at the same time, it makes sure that no other issues are there. So it sort of maintains the list. Now there are 3 Greenhopper Synchronizer, each for each project that we have in this example. The Hyperdrive. This company makes Hyperdrive Starship drives for the Star Wars. And they have 2 customer projects. So let's take a look at how this multi-project backlog looks like again. So there we have a list of issues. The first one comes from the Drive project, Drive 12, and a couple of other comes from the Empire project, Empire 3, Empire 2. The next come from the Rebel project, and there we have some Drive project issues. Let's switch to Greenhopper in a separate tab, and let's take a look at Hyperdrive project here. So you can see that the issues are in sync. In the structure, we have Drive 12, and then somewhere below Drive 5, and Drive 11. Oh, they're not in sync, so probably we need to run Synchronizer again. So let me just change it. Okay, so we have now Drive 12, Drive 11, and Drive 5. And the same goes for the Greenhopper tab. Now, what happens if I move an issue in Greenhopper? For example, I would like to place drive 11 before drive 12. And that's how it's done in Greenhopper. Now let's switch back to the structure, and we'll see that drive 11 has moved here automatically. The same happens if we rearrange the issues here in the structure board. So if I move drive 11 somewhere below, say before drive 5, and then I will go back to the planning board, and I will refresh. You can see that drive 11 has moved to a place that's defined according to the structure. So the same can be done with the issues from Empire project and the Rebels project. And this is the way to have a common backlog from different projects while maintaining the per project backlogs in the Greenhopper. So that's one example. Another example, is more interesting because here we have a hierarchy. Now imagine that this company creates a new feature that is adds it to its product. But before this feature can be considered complete, they need to customize it for every individual customer. So what they do, they create tasks in the customer project and add them to the story for the implemented feature in the structure. So they use the customization tasks to communicate with the customer while maintaining the whole picture in the structure. Let's take a look. So this is example 2, a hyperdrive project. Now let's take a look at this drive 12 story. It's a feature. Yes, it's a story. Let's switch to the issue view for this issue so that we don't see any irrelevant issues here. So it's a part of a larger epic. There are some technical tasks that are being solved as a part of the implementation, and there's a customization tasks. You see that it comes from different projects. For each customer, we have a separate customization task. So as this project goes on, let's say that we have logged some work on the technical task. Let's log 1 week, set 1 day. By the way, you might have noticed that I didn't go from the story issue view. So when you have a structure panel here, you can make any actions on all the issues that are in the structure, not leaving this issue page. So I have added some work on this technical task. The progress got aggregated, and the time tracking information also has this work logged here. It's 2 weeks now. Now, well, let's resolve this issue, and we can resolve the other one. So in this state, you can see that the technical tasks are resolved. Customization for a single customer is done, but what's left is the customization for another customer. The parent story is still open, and you can see that the progress is 67%, which makes sense because it's 2/3. Now, when I resolve the final issue, the progress will be 100%, and this issue will be automatically resolved because there's a status rollup synchronizer. So that's the second example. Let's get to the next one. I'm getting to run out of time, so I will be really quick. So this is an example from a different setup. Now consider this is a company which has, they track everything in JIRA. They have all kinds of issues there from top-level business goals to some real actionable tasks. And they used to use issue links. They still do. The various links, but mostly they somehow construct this hierarchy with links. So what they do with structure is first they convert the real hierarchy that was there, defined by links, into a structure. And secondly, they still need these links, and they need these links up to date because there are other pieces of functionality, maybe plugins or I don't know, other private stuff that uses these links for whatever reason. So the structure, switch to example 3. Oh well, this is not really a big structure. I had to make it up, but you can see that it's quite deep. So this structure has a link synchronizer installed. And what link synchronizer does is it makes sure that there's a link for every relationship between parent issue and child issue. So if we open this battle station upgrade issue, see that on the details link, on the details section, excuse me, there's issue links, and there are links that say this issue contains 5 issues, and this issue is part of another issue, which is visualized by the structure here. So let me go back to the structure board, and I will add linked issues column here. So this linked issues column is a standard column in JIRA, and it shows us that this Emperor 8 issue is linked to the following Emperor 9, and this Emperor 9 is linked to the issue that precedes it and the one that follows. So these data will be updated once I start to change the structure. So for example, let me move this whole subtree of issues upward. Just in a moment, you'll see that the links are updated. Okay. So I have another example, but I will not show it on a live JIRA because it's really simple. If you want me to, just ask a question and I will get back and show it. It's a personal backlog, another real-life example where I need to work on my issues, and I would like to have my own order in which I will go to work on them. So I can create my own personal structure, or maybe I can share it with specific people. And then I will install a save it filter synchronizer, and save it filter will go something like assignee equals me. So in this structure, I will always have all issues assigned to me, and as they are getting resolved, they will be removed from this structure automatically. And within the structure, I can rearrange them as I see fit, and that supposedly will help me in doing my work quicker. So a couple of words about where we're headed and where we are now. The plugin has been officially released this July, so it's a very young product, 2 months. We already have dozens of paying customers, lots of feature requests, lots of feedback, so we're going to expand our team. It's a commercial plugin. 10 user licenses start from $10, and basically if you have a free license for a JIRA from Atlassian, then it'll match with a free license for structure. Some of the features that are quite popular, one of them is templates, where you can get a structure or part of the structure and make a copy of it, and also clone every issue, make a clone of every issue in that part of the structure. So this works like a checklist for an IT team. Another popular request is that we will have most of the fields editable on the structure widget. So when you do planning, you will be able to immediately change fixed version, assignee, remaining estimate right on this structure board, and see the progress bar change and so on. And for some people, the structure is too much flexible because you can literally put any issue under any other issue. So what we're going to do for those guys is to allow to set up restriction sets for a structure so that you can say bug cannot contain a feature or a story, but a story can contain, I don't know, technical task. You can visit this user voice form of ours and see what's there planned for, and you can use feedback button in the structure plugin to post your ideas. Besides working on these user-level features, we are really focusing on the integration with the ecosystem because there are really lots of really good plugins out there, and many of them can take advantage of the structure of the issue hierarchy. This is quite a common problem, so we would love to have those plugins work with structure. There are already some APIs in the structure. We're working on the documentation and on making them better. We will also work on something that may be called the shared structure layer because the plugin wouldn't probably want to depend on another plugin. And this shared structure layer could be a free component, not a commercial one, so that if somebody wants to have a hierarchy of issues and to build plugin functionality based on the hierarchy, they can have it. And if they install it and then structure is installed or any other plugin based on the shared structure layer is installed, they will all have the same data, the same structures of issues. A couple of words about ourselves. We are a small company. We've been around since 2004, based in St. Petersburg in Russia. And you probably have heard about JIRA Client. That's our first product in Atlassian ecosystem, but we also have been doing different kinds of stuff. We have other commercial projects, free projects, open source libraries, and so on. And we have 1,500 customers over the world. Now with that, thank you very much for your attention. Feel free to write me at any time, and you can reach us on the website. And if you have any questions, I will be happy to answer them now. Thank you.
Sounds great. Thank you. Yeah, I'll go ahead and ask the questions, and I'll leave the screen on your side, so in case someone asks a question and you need to demo.
Okay.
So let me go ahead and jump into these questions. Is it somehow possible to lock/protect issues and undo?
Okay, undo is something that is planned. It's not there yet, but it will be there, at least within the browser session until you move away from a page. If by locking you mean make sure that the issue is not moved from the place where it's now located, for now it's done with structure permissions. You can have global edit permissions, or you can have there's a specific flag there that says anyone who can edit an issue can rearrange its direct sub-issue. So for now, that's the only way to have sub-issues of an issue locked is by not giving edit permission to somebody.
Okay. And here's a question that came in. Can you aggregate data based on custom fields like story points?
It's not there right now, but as I mentioned in the slide where I talked about how we can aggregate data, this is also something that we can that we are working on, and we will be able to provide an API or an extension point so that somebody could write another plugin that just simply provides a function to make this aggregation, because obviously we cannot provide aggregation for anything that's out there.
Okay. And here's one that came in. What's meant when you mention permission sets? Are there new permissions for that plugin?
Yeah, I could probably show you that. Let me get back to the browser. So let's see. Let's create a new structure. So when you create a new structure, you give it a name, and probably a description, and there you can define a set of rules. Now, this may be a bit confusing. We will try to simplify it, but for now, it's the most flexible thing that's possible. So we can say that set permission to view for group JIRA administrator. Oh, let's set permission to view to JIRA users. So now all JIRA users can view this structure. Now we can add another rule, like set permissions edit to developers of project Galactic Empire. Now developers of Galactic Empire can edit the structure. Everybody else can view it, and so on. You can define this list of permissions, and these are not based on the existing JIRA permissions that you have in permission schemes.
Okay, and as a follow-up question, I guess, does every project have to create their own structure?
It's up to the people, because structures are separate things. You can create a single structure, actually it's created for you when you install the plugin. There's global structure that's created for you automatically. You can stay away from creating more structures and just use a single structure for everything. You can create several structures. You can create a structure for each project. You can create a structure for each component. It's up to you. The structure is just a collection of issues which are laid out in the hierarchical way.
Okay. And here's one that came in. If you have an item on multiple structures, can there be a conflict between syncs in various structures?
Yes, that's a good question. If you have an issue in several structures and you set up, say, Greenhopper Synchroniser that syncs a structure to a project, like here, you see that there's a Greenhopper Synchroniser for example 1 that syncs the position with the hyperdrive project, and Greenhopper Synchroniser for the example 2 that also syncs Greenhopper rank and hyperdrive project to this structure. There can be a conflict. This is somehow something that we are working on. We're trying to make this more streamlined and obvious. But you're right. Synchronizers are a very powerful feature, and because they are capable of bulk changes, they should be used carefully.
Okay. And someone wrote in, they apologized because they came in late, and they asked if this works with Greenhopper, and the answer to that is yes. But another question regarding Greenhopper was, can Greenhopper display the issues hierarchy as they are displayed by structure?
Yeah, that's also a popular request. Unfortunately, we cannot just we cannot rewrite the Greenhopper. So Greenhopper displays issues as it just displays them. What we're going to do for that is there's a popular idea, probably something that will be there in the upcoming couple of versions. We will add, so you can see the Greenhopper planning board, right? We will add a small icon somewhere near the issue key or maybe issue summary, and if you hover with your mouse or click there, it will show you where this issue is positioned in the structure. We cannot just, this is something really for Greenhopper team. If they would like to use data that's maintained by the structure plugin, they can do that, and they can pull that data and rearrange their planning board accordingly.
Okay. Does this plugin work with the hosted version of JIRA?
Not yet. We'll still have this ahead of us. We are planning to work on the testing and the process to make it available on JIRA Studio.
All right. And someone chatted in, is there a rough estimate for bulk cloning issue feature?
Yeah, it's the rough estimate is the next couple of versions. In time, it may be a month or maybe 2.
All right. And here's one that came in. Can you display the version or iteration number on the output? They're wondering how this could be used to help iteration planning.
And what's the output? I mean, on the structure board, we certainly can display a fixed version because it's just a field. Only I don't have fixed versions for these issues. It was the question.
Yeah, they didn't expand on that. Just can you display the version or iteration number on the output? I don't know.
Yeah, we can display it. You see, there's also a printable page here, so you can just print that. That's another kind of output.
Okay, perfect. All right, here's one that came in. The person that came in late, they joined late. They're wondering, are there any dashboard gadgets currently or planned based around structures?
Yes, there's a dashboard gadget. Here it is, and let me show you how it's configured. It's really simple. You just select which structure you'd like to display, maximum number of rows to manage the space on the dashboard, and whether you allow changes here. So here's a structure displayed on a gadget, and because I selected that it's editable, let me just take a smaller font. I can really change structure right on the dashboard, and I can create new issues here, like I can do on the structure board. And by the way, you can view this gadget in Confluence.
Oh, good. All right, here's one that came in. If someone tries structure and then decides to stop using it, will they lose any of the data?
Well, they will lose the hierarchies, but nothing more. Structure is very non-intrusive. It keeps data in a separate place. So even if you decide to stop using structure, you can use administrator's backup feature. There's a separate action there, backup structure, which produces a pretty human-readable XML with all your structures, all your hierarchy. Then you just can stop using structure. You will retain all the issues, all the information, except for the hierarchy, essentially. And you can use those export from the structure, XML export, to, I don't know, import the hierarchy somewhere else.
Okay. And here's 2 related questions that came in. How does structure store the hierarchy on the server? And then related to that, is the structure stored in an accessible database structure? And the reason being is they do some stats work on the issues and items and could see using the structure to drive some of those stats.
I missed the part about the stats. What was that again?
They said that they do some stats work on issues and items and could see using the structure to drive some of those stats. So they're just wondering, is the structure stored in an accessible database structure?
Yeah, okay. For now, the structure is stored in a separate database. It's separate from the main database where JIRA issues are stored. And the reason for that is technical. We will later migrate structure plugin to active objects, and then all the structured data will be stored in the main database. Now, about using the data about hierarchy in some reports, or maybe externally run reports, or some other plugins. Now, that's a tricky one because structure, the hierarchy is stored in relational model. Basically, it's just a bunch of blobs. And this is the good way to store the hierarchy, but it's not a good way to run a report. So we already had some requests like that. And what we have in mind is that we will add a new feature. Maybe it will be a Synchroniser, maybe it will be something else that will create a read-only view of the hierarchies in a really good, readable way in some tables that can be used to run reports and calculate stats.
All right. That's all the questions we had, though there were a few comments, and I'll just read out one of them because there's a few that were very similar. They just wanted to say thank you, and they expect this will fill a big need in their organization to be able to prioritize groups of tickets within a single project. So yeah, that's awesome. I think it's definitely people are very interested. There are a lot of people on this webinar, so that definitely shows how popular it is, which is great. But with that, let me go ahead and take the controls back and provide some more information.
Thank you very much for your comment, and thanks everybody for coming.
Yeah. So we did questions. Now, one quick plug. What? Let me. There we go. One quick plug for Alice Camp. If you guys are going to be in the Bay Area around September 28th to the 30th, consider coming to Alice Camp. For all the information, go to Atlassian.com/AtlasCamp. This will be our third year doing it, and it's a very, very popular gathering for developers. So if you're interested in that, definitely check it out and come. It's going to be great. Now, if you want to contact me, go ahead and reach me at webinars@Atlassian.com. I'm always on the hunt for good webinars to do, whether you're a customer and want to show off how you're using our tools, or if you're also a plugin developer that has a new cool product. We'd love to showcase those on this series. As Igor said earlier, you can reach him at sarita@allmorks.com. And this webinar will eventually end up on Atlassian.com/TV. So I am recording it. I'm going to go ahead and edit it, and I'll probably get it posted definitely by tomorrow. And for upcoming webinars or other events, go to Atlassian.com/about/events. So with that, Igor, thank you very much for presenting. It looks like there's a lot of interest in your plugin, and I hope to see it, progress in the future, and look forward to seeing it more. It's great.
Thanks, Morgan.
All right. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Bye-bye.